Hey everybody, welcome back to LMB Outdoors. Well, if you look behind me here, something's missing. Something square, hold a little water. Yeah, we got our radiator worked on. I wanted to keep the original if it was salvageable. We did. And I wanted to show y'all the process of getting it back in, testing water flow, making sure it all's going to work, make sure it's going to stay cool on our TO20. So y'all stay tuned, and here we go. So in the past videos, I was having some overheating issues with this old tractor, and I verified that the water pump was producing water flow, but I keep checking that radiator. I'd flush it out. I'd tried the vinegar trick. Nothing seemed to be helping. So with that, I wanted to see if it could be rotted out, and that's what I had somebody to do. And I try to keep everything local. If I'm gonna spend $1 on something, instead of buying Amazon, I do buy stuff off of Amazon, but I support my local businesses. So we had a local business over in Marianna, Florida that does radiators and radiator repair named Williams Radiator Repair. And he looked at it and he said he thinks he can work with that. Of course, it is, 60 something, 70 something years old. But he was able to work on it, rot it out, get it cleaned out, and get it flowing the correct flow that it should be. And hopefully we won't have no more overheating issues. So as you remember, it was painted red. This is the fan shroud that we got to put back on it. But he had to come in here and desolder this top tank, take this top tank off, and then each one of these is your water passages or your veins where the water flows. And he had to take a rod or a cleaning device to each one of them, go through each one of them and get them cleared out of the junk, rust, build up, even a little bit of sand. I don't know how sand got in there. But each one of them had to be cleaned out. Then he has to take this tank, put it back on, and solder it back on. Once he's done with that, then he puts water in it and pressure tests it to verify no leaks. And from that point, he dresses it up and repaints them. I mean, hey, it looks brand new. But I'd rather keep this tractor original as much as possible. And I could have went and bought, for the same price, I could have went and bought one off of Amazon. But it would be an all aluminum, and I'm sure the fit wouldn't be close. But I just like the nostalgia of keeping things as original as possible. Plus, this one was salvageable. So, there again, keeping the nostalgia, supporting local business. So, we're going to get this fan shroud on here and bolt it up. And we're going to get this thing back on the tractor. I also want to point out and keep in mind, this little one here is the original. These are new ones that I bought. Now, you'd say that don't look exactly right. And you're right. It's hard to find these smaller ones. But the biggest deal with that, if I can get you in here and maybe show you, is on this radiator up here. This is the first vein that comes through. There's not one in this area here. So you need to verify when you put a screw through here to put that shroud back on, that your screw ain't gonna come in here and puncture that radiator. So verify that all these fins, there's not another vein coming on the very outside. Most of the time on these radiators, they try to keep them away from the shrouds, just for that reason, for mounting purposes. But as you can see down in there, there is no other veins but this last one right here. So you take that screw that we had and you stick it down here, and there you go. You got a 1/4 inch or more of clearance, and that's good enough for me. So we're gonna get this shroud on here. Make sure you get it right back in the same spots it came from. Break out the new screws. Before I bottom it out, I'm just going to check and verify that it looks good. And I suggest that when you put these in, don't tighten each one of them up until you get them all in. Once you get them all in, then you can tighten them up, because you may have to adjust, tweak on this shroud for all the holes to line up. Like this one here is a little off, but we're able to get it started, and that's what you want. All right, once you got all your screws in, then go back around and tighten them all up. Just like that. Shroud's back on. All right, on your studs on the bottom, you know, of course, he did do some painting, and I appreciate it. But we're gonna knock that paint off them threads so these bolts can go on a little better. That way it's a lot cleaner if the camera will ever focus. And we're going to do the same for this side. Now we can get ready to put it back on the tractor. Down here on the bottom of your radiator, you got some rubber isolators. I forgot to mention them. Don't forget to put them rubber isolators down before you bolt this down. All right, I got the top radiator on, radiator hose, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and put these nuts on bottom to hold it in place. And just go ahead and tighten them up. As you can see, that's how it sits back on the tractor. I've got to put the top clamp back on, put the bottom hose and clamp back on, and then we can put some antifreeze in this and run it. So let me get these clamps back on and I'll be right back. I don't know how much y'all can see down in there, but that is so much cleaner than what it was. And that's them little ports I'm telling y'all about. And each one of them passages was clogged up. He said this thing was about 95% clogged up, so no wonder it was getting hot. But we should be flowing a lot better water and cooling a lot better. All right, time to put the antifreeze in. Yeah, I'm that confident it's gonna hold. So I'm treating her to some fresh, brand new concentrate antifreeze. I'll pour this whole gallon in and then I'll go get a gallon of water, top it off. And then it'll be a pretty good 50-50 to 60-40 mixture. All right, let me go get some water. All right, we'll top it off with some water. All right, there's your water level. Check and make sure I don't see any leaks, anything dripping. No. All right, I'm gonna leave the radiator cap right there because I want to kind of watch the water flow as it's moving for right now. But let's see if this thing will crank. Fuel on. Throttle set. It's in neutral. Yeah, you're not supposed to crank it on the ground, but it's in neutral. See what she does. It ain't never flowed that good, ever. Awesome. Maybe we got our overheating fixed. Let's idle for a little while. Alright, she's been idling for about 20 minutes. No leaks. Running cool. We'll just show you. 125. 127. Go down here at the bottom. It goes back in. About 100. Let's fluctuate. About 105. So she's cooling it pretty good. I am proud of that. Block's about 120. Not bad for sitting there idling for 20 minutes. Ambient temperature outside is about 70, 75. I think that's going to do it. I think that'll do the trick for us. Well, got her hood closed. She's almost ready to go to work. I got a few more things to do to the attachment that's on it. And then I'm going to go mow a little. If y'all go back in my channel, I don't know, it's been several videos ago. We went and picked up this Kuhn 44 disc mower. And we actually hooked it to this TO20 tractor. If you ain't seen that video, I'll put a screenshot of it here. Go check that out. But we finally got a chance to get back working on this. And I've got some blades ordered. As you can tell, them are shot. Took that one off so I can make sure they're the right hole diameters and all that. But y'all be looking out for that video coming up here shortly. We're going to replace some blades on it. We're going to mow a little bit with it and get this thing ready to go for next year. I do have an area that I want to cut, and we may do that before we replace these old blades because it's a trashy mess anyway. Then we'll put the new blades on. But anyway, y'all stay tuned and be looking for that video coming out here shortly. All right, that is a wrap for this one. Hood's closed, radiator's on, no leaks. So I really do appreciate y'all watching. I hope this helps somebody out on their little TO20 tractors, or even their Massey Ferguson tractors, the TO20s, TO30s, 35s. A lot of these small little tractors are all about the same thing. Having to get your radiator on and off. I would advise, to be on the safe side and remove your hood to do that. But I kind of got a feel for this. I've had it off 4, 5, 6 times. So I knew I wasn't going to hurt nothing by leaving the hood on. And that's one thing I like about these little TO20s and 30s. The way the hoods are. The hood flips up all the way where you can get to the engine bay. On your Fords, 8 ends, 9 ends, 2 ends, and also your 640s, 600 series. The hoods just have a little flip section inside the hood. You can't flip it up like these. So like to get to your gas tank, to remove your gas tank, you got to remove the whole hood. So that's one thing I like about these little old Ferguson tractors. The simplicity to work on, ease of working on. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all like, share, subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Check, check. All right, as you see, that's how it sits back down in the radiator. Oh. Check, check. Here we go. And now, I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you. Y'all. No, I can't say that twice. Dummy. Dummy.